Hey guys, it's Jeremy Harrell Metal Music Meltdown back with another video. What we got for today, guys, is an album review, and I got a monster one for you today, guys. It's the newest from Flotsam and Jetsam, killer old school thrash band out of Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to be reviewing their latest album entitled I Am the Weapon. It is the 15th studio album from the band, 11 tracks in total, for just over 47 minutes in length. Killer band. Very unique thrash sound, not like any other band from their peers, in my opinion. They're thrash at the core, but they have a ton of elements of traditional metal, speed metal, power metal, where most bands had like either screeching kind of vocals or really gruffy vocals or intense, almost death metal vocals. Flotsam always had these really melodic vocals from Eric AK. He always had these kind of soaring vocals, kind of more reminiscent of like Iron Maiden, or more of a traditional metal band, or even in power metal. So they just definitely had a unique sound, really thrashy intensity on the musicianship, but then the vocals were always kind of more on the traditional metal / speed metal, power metal side. So really cool blend of sound, but thrash at the core. And I've always loved most of their albums. They've been putting out banger after banger lately, and this album was pretty damn good. So like I said, guys, 15th studio album, beginning with the artwork. Killer artwork, really epic looking, giant dragon in the background, the fire, cool logo, love the font, the guy in the foreground with the title underneath. Really killer album cover, definitely stands out, really catches your eye, love the album. Overall thoughts initially of the album, I started listening to it, I'm like, holy crap, this is a banger. In my opinion, it's definitely more front heavy, front loaded. I think the first half of the album is definitely stronger. The opening track, A New Kind of Hero, is just a thrash banger. Crazy intensity, really good riffs, really thrashy riffs, really heavy in the drums, really pounding drum sound, and those soaring vocals, catchy melodies. Just a really, really good opening song, really thrashy and intense. And then the next song, Primal, had a really cool chorus, kind of a sing-along song, again, but very thrashy and intense and high intensity. Really high tempo still, really, really good tune. I Am the Weapon, heavier riffs, a little crunchier on this one, really killer title track. And definitely a sing-along kind of song, really anthemic, and but really thrashy and heavy. Burn My Bridges was probably one of my favorite songs on the album, and maintained the intensity and the thrashiness to it. But it really had this epic kind of sing-along kind of feel to it, even in the verses as well as the chorus. Definitely a standout track for me. Love that song. Had a really cool, epic kind of, but still thrashy, but epic kind of sing-along kind of vibe to it. The Head on the Snake was another pretty cool song. A little bit deeper riffs on this one. Cool guitar solo. The chorus wasn't quite as big on this one. It was just kind of like but still really good tune, pretty catchy stuff. And then the second half of where it kind of starts to kind of slide off a little bit for me. Beneath the Shadows really caught me off guard when it first opens up. It has this kind of like really bluesy, kind of sleazy kind of riff to it. It almost sounds like a ZZ Top kind of riff or something. It really kind of threw me off. It didn't really blend well with the other songs at all. In my opinion, I like the song, but I don't think it fits on this album. I don't think it belongs. Like, it feels out of place. Completely different vibe on this song. Completely loses the intensity. Much slower pace song. The riff sounds completely like a different style of music almost, and it just didn't seem to belong. Cool song, but it kind of messed with the flow of the album, in my opinion, and definitely one of the weaker tracks for sure. Gates of Hell goes right to another thrasher, 4 minutes. That was a banger song, really cool chorus on this one as well, really screeching solos, really good stuff on that one. Had a look at this melodic part at the end, and then it kind of went into this kind of frantic kind of guitar solo at the end. It was kind of cool. And then Cold Steel Lights, another kind of blend of like thrashy riffs with like traditional metal kind of vocal delivery. Really cool chorus on that one, very, very catchy as well. Kings of the Underworld was another song that I felt was a little bit weaker. I didn't really like the vocal delivery on this one. It kind of, when he did the kind of like more faster tempo vocal delivery, it just didn't sound right to me. Wasn't a big fan. The chorus was still pretty catchy and good, but the verses part or the other part, I didn't really like it that much. It wasn't Wasn't my favorite vocal delivery on the album, but definitely one of the weaker tracks as well. Running Through the Fire, again, had a little bit of a different vibe to it. Really catchy chorus, but the overall song had a little bit of a different vibe to it. Again, not quite as strong as the first half of the album, but a decent track. And Black Wings, the last song, just over 5 minutes, I thought was a good closer. Really nice epic song, thrashy, but had the kind of like epic kind of feel to it, which is what you want at the end of an album. Just to kind of close it out on this epic feeling and sing along and blah, blah, blah. But really, really decent track. So standard tracks for me would be the opener, A New Kind of Hero. I would say the title track, I Am the Weapon. Burn My Bridges, it was a banger song. That's probably might be my favorite. And what else? And I'd probably say Black Wings was probably the other one that was a standard for me. And then the lesser tracks I would say were Beneath the Shadows. Didn't seem like it belonged. It just didn't feel right. Didn't mix with the flow of the album. Kings of the Underworld, I wasn't as big of a fan of either. And Running Through the Fire was just decent. It was just okay. But overall, definitely more front-loaded in my opinion. The front half was definitely a lot stronger. If the rest of the album was like the front half, it would definitely be a near perfect album, like a thrash masterpiece. But a couple songs on the second half kind of brought it down for me. In terms of production, really big sound, really thrashy, bombastic sounding. The drums are really punchy. You can really hear the drums in it. Really good guitar work on this album as well. Great solos. Vocals are good. I like their sound. Like they have a cool kind of melodic, thrashy sound. But when you listen to his vocals, sometimes he doesn't sound so great. But then other times when he's hitting those higher notes and he's soaring a little bit more, it sounds pretty good. So it's kind of a weird vocalist where at times he kind of sounds a little rough on the edges, but at other times it sounds really good. So it's kind of hard to judge his vocals. I think it suits the music really well. It definitely gives them their own unique sound. But the vocals are kind of like not 100% killer for me. But I think I couldn't imagine any other singer on this band, to be honest, at the same time. Like I said, good guitar work, good drums, good solos. Most of the songs are really catchy. The tempo's up on most of the songs, really high intensity all the way through. Just thrash banger after banger. Really good too. Really good album. If I had to give it a ranking, I'd probably give it, I was going to say 8, but I'm thinking I'm going to put it down to a 7.5. It might grow on me a little bit more after a couple more listens. But yeah, like I said, if the second half was as strong as the first half, it would definitely be like a 9 out of 10. But yeah, killer album. No disappointment here. I'll definitely be picking it up eventually on CD. Killer artwork. Just another really strong album from these guys. So let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the album and what were your favorite tracks. And yeah, until next time, guys, keep it metal.